Hey guys, Hella Bella, and one of the things that I don't think I've ever really talked about much on the channel is how I handle being on Ozempic whenever I go on vacation. So we recently went on a cruise trip. We were gone for a week. We had to fly, we had to go on a boat, we went to multiple countries. It was a lot of fun, but I thought about how I manage my medicine and my food intake while I'm gone, and I thought that that might be helpful to share with you guys because I know that I was a little worried the first time that I traveled while I was on Ozempic. I also didn't know if I was going to be able to transport my medication. I didn't know when was the best time to take my shot. I didn't know if I was going to get sick. So in this video, I want to cover some helpful tips for you if you are traveling while you are on a GLP-1 medication. I enjoyed a lot of food on the trip, but I did remember to eat in moderation. There was a lot of times where I would just take a couple of bites of a meal, especially on the cruise. They give you like 3-course dinners, and I'm just not used to eating that. So I just had to take a couple of bites of each course and just kind of maintain mindfulness as I was eating. I also felt like I was a lot more active on the cruise, so that while I may have been eating a little bit more, I was burning so many calories from being outside, being in the sun, walking up and down the stairs of the cruise ship because the elevators always have a super long line. And I also snorkeled all day on one of the days. So while you may feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose all my progress, typically we're more active on vacation. We're going out and doing sightseeing, you're walking to different things, you're swimming, you're burning more calories overall. I feel like being active really helps when it comes to not gaining weight while you are on vacation. With that being said, please do not weigh yourself the day that you get home from vacation. Wait at least 1 week to weigh yourself because that is not indicative of how you actually are. That is a lot of water and food weight, and so give yourself time to regulate and to get back to you before you weigh yourself. So obviously Ozempic does make you less hungry. So I felt like on my cruise there was a lot of times where we were like prompted to eat, but I just wasn't hungry. And so during those times I just didn't eat. I don't feel social pressure from anyone that I'm with to eat. Thankfully, I'm able to say no, or no thank you, or not right now, or maybe I'll have some later. So if you struggle with saying no, I would come up with some go-to phrases that you can use, because there's a lot of times where people want you to be eating with them. We are social creatures, and so it just makes sense for us to do things at the same time. So it can be hard for your friends and family to wrap their minds around the fact that you're not actually hungry. So our cruise went to the Dominican Republic, Grand Turk, and the Bahamas. So on those days, I really was super active. I remember in the Dominican Republic, we were going to the market and someone just handed me and Daniel a banana, like fresh. And I was like, oh, how much do you want for it? And they're like, no, just take it, just take it. And so we just wound up like eating a random banana while we were walking around the market. And so just little things like that I was able to kind of like have an experience of getting like a fresh banana, but also it's a banana, so it wasn't exactly horrible for me. Some other things we tried in the Dominican Republic were fresh coffee from a coffee shop, and then we also tried some tacos from there while we were at the beach. I remember it was a long walk to get out to the beach, and it was also very, very choppy waves, so I was swimming for my life out there. In Grand Turk, we left the port area and we found a local restaurant where I was able to get a burger and fries. I think I ate about half of the burger and some of the fries, and I had 1 beer, and then I went snorkeling for like 2 hours after that. I pretty much snorkeled that whole day. I snorkeled some inside of the port area, and then we got a taxi and we left, and I went to snorkel by myself, so completely secluded, beautiful, beautiful area. And so I was out there all day, and so I did not feel like food was really a big part of this vacation. I still enjoy food, but it does not have that same like pull to me as it used to. I mean, I definitely don't feel that like same dopamine rush that I get from eating. I really try to think about the whole experience on my vacation instead of just food. In terms of when you should take your shot, you can approach this a couple of different ways. You can say, hey, I don't want to overeat on vacation, so I'm going to take the shot like the day before I leave or the day that I leave. Or you can say, hey, I want the medicine to wear off a little bit, so like on the last day, I'm gonna plan it to where I don't take my shot and I come back home and I take my shot. That's totally up to you. Of course, you know, I'm sure on some medical advice it says to only go by the book, but we all know that life is not like that. Life is never black and white. It's usually a gray area. So for me, I felt like it was best to just continue on my regular schedule, but there have been trips where I did not take the medicine because I knew that I would be sick. I also made sure to eat a salad and meat as often as possible because they were offering like steak and chicken and things like that on our trip. So you can really try and prioritize your protein intake. If you do that, I feel like that's going to cover like 50% of your problems because you're going to get full on the stuff that you're supposed to get full on, and then you might have a little bit of room left for dessert. I did have some desserts on the cruise, but I'll be honest, I don't feel like cruise food is the most delicious food. To me, it's very like middle of the road, and so I did not feel like I couldn't eat enough. I did eat an entire creme brulee, but I believe that was the day that I had done all the swimming, so I was so hungry. I didn't get sick on our cruise at all. I was really fortunate in that I was mindful of my eating. Now, I can't say that that's always been the case on these vacations. I've definitely eaten myself sick before, but I did that before I was on Ozempic. I mean, I've always gotten to the point where I ate too much, and now I'm just able to regulate a little bit better. The Bahamas is so hot. Grand Turk is hot. Dominican Republic is hot. We were sweating the whole time. Like, I was drenched in sweat. My bra was covered in sweat. It was just gross. I feel like we burned quite a bit just by sweating, and so make sure that you bring a gigantic water bottle with you if you are going on a trip or you're traveling, because I tried my best to stay hydrated. Like, I filled up my water bottle multiple times per day and just tried to drink as much water as possible. I know that's a cliche tip, but it's true for a reason. If you drink water and you sleep well, most of your problems are going to be eliminated. I have been on semaglutide for 2 years now, and I can say that I've lost 40 pounds as of like this month. I've been using the company Fridays to get my medication, and all of the links to join them are in the description below. If you want to join, you can use code Bella and you will get $20 off of your first month's membership. They do have pretty transparent pricing where it's $99 a month if you want the branded medication and your insurance covers it, and it's $249 a month if you want to pay out of pocket and get semaglutide shipped to your door. That does include the doctor visit, and it includes coaching calls and multiple other features that you can get on joinfridays.com. I think at this point I've lost more than 20% of my original body weight, and I can definitely tell a difference when it comes to being able to move and walk on vacation. I felt so free and like unencumbered on this cruise. Like, I was dressing so cute. I had all the swimsuits that I wanted to have. Like, I had my hair done, I had my little outfits on, and I really felt confident and at ease. And I had turned 30 on the cruise, so I mean, it was a big, you know, life moment. Turning 30 is just kind of like, you know, it's the end of like being a young woman. You're officially a woman, you're no longer a young woman. So I probably haven't been a young woman for a while, but turning 30 definitely solidified that for me. I have traveled extensively, and while being on this medication does sometimes lead to a little bit more of a hassle when you have to plan things, I try to stick to my same plan that I have at home, which is to prioritize protein, to continue counting my calories, and to eat in moderation. I mean, it's very simple, it's just not easy. And so when I began to want something on the cruise, like I wanted chocolate or something, I would typically like split that with Daniel, or I would have a little piece and like save the rest for later. I'm a big like, give me a little bag so I can put that up so I can have some more later. And if I can tell myself like, Bella, you don't have to eat it all right now, you can always have some later, mentally that helps me to not feel like I'm missing out on something, because ultimately you're not missing out on anything by not eating food that you didn't need in the first place. When it comes to restricting on vacation, I never do that, because I know personally I did not get fat by one vacation or one Thanksgiving or one Christmas dinner. I got fat over time by eating too many calories and by eating food that I shouldn't have eaten, and just basically not treating my body as well as I could. I did not get fat from one vacation, so I don't think that I'm going to get fat from one vacation now. I know that the vacation is a time for me to enjoy myself, and I treat it as such. If you go into it with a mindset of, oh, I have to feel bad for this, I have to feel guilty, oh, I'm so bad, and you use terminology like that to talk about food and your body, you're really going to come home not having a good time, and then you're also going to regret everything you did. I just don't live my life like that. Like, I don't want to say like no regrets, but honestly, I own my choices. And so if I make a choice to do something, that's my choice and it's all mine. Like, it's something that I decided to do, and so I'm going to stick with it and maintain that the fact that I wanted to do it and enjoy it, even if it's something that I know may not be the most healthy thing or may not be the best option. It may be something that your soul needs, maybe not something that your body needs, but food is a healing thing. We eat food as social creatures, and so I'm never going to deny myself food while on vacation, but I am going to try and maintain that level of moderation that keeps me from getting sick and also keeps me from gaining weight while I am on my trips. Now, when it comes to alcohol intake on vacation, I try to keep it very minimum, like 1 to 2 drinks per day. I really feel a lot worse when I drink alcohol and I eat bad food. One or the other is bad enough, but if I do both, I'm not going to feel too good the next day. So I really tried to keep that to a minimum. I honestly just try to stick to beer or rum or liquor or something like that. We did go to a rum factory and tour, and that was so much fun. Like, they just give you a little bit of rum, but we had a great time, and it didn't make me sick at all because I just had a little bit of it and I didn't mix it with anything sweet. If you have to fly with your Ozempic or any of your GLP-1 medications, I did talk to a TSA agent about this, and he said, I am not worried about prescription medication. What I'm concerned with is things that would be dangerous. So this is just one person's opinion, but that's what a TSA agent told me, because I was asking him about it because I didn't bring my medicine, but I was like, hey, in the future, I'd kind of like to know like how to best bring this, because a lot of people want to keep it cold, or you have like a little vial, and sometimes people don't know what it is. You can always say like, hey, this is for my diabetes, or this is for my insulin resistance, or whatever, and I think most people will get it. But traveling with something like that is definitely not something I was familiar with, so it was reassuring to hear from the TSA agent that he basically did not give a crap about it. At this point, things are going really well for me in my life with my weight and my fitness. I do still have chronic pain, which makes things difficult, but as far as my weight goes, I'm starting to slim down so much. My face looks so much different. Like, if you guys go and look at some of the previous videos that I filmed, my face was just very bloated. Even my eyes and my physical features really couldn't pop because there was so much fat in my face. And that's no shade to the previous me. I love the old Bella just like I love this Bella, but I do feel like I'm looking better and I'm feeling significantly better. So if you guys want to try the medication, like I said, all the links are in the description below, and you can use code Bella for $20 off of your first month, and you will get that shipped right to your door. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are traveling, I hope you have a super good trip, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.